Feel free to ask questions at any point if they pop up, but I assure you, Swipeclock is extremely user-friendly, whether you're using it on a computer, a tablet, or a mobile phone. So this training will be short and pretty straightforward, but feel free to ask any questions at any point.
And then Nate, you said you're recording this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see that actually on the bottom. Okay.
Okay, so if everyone can see my screen here, so what you'll all be using Swipeclock for is recording your time and also some HR functionality. Now, the HR functionality, due to the setup and our timeline, that's going to come closer to January. But immediately in the next couple of weeks, you'll have the ability to use a mobile app as well as a computer or a tablet to record your time. So punch a clock in and out for the day. If you're being asked to punch the clock for lunches or breaks, that will also be available to you. But you also have some other features that will allow you to have visibility as far as how much time you're working each day and each week and for the pay period. So you're going to have that visibility. You're also going to have the ability to send messages to management through our system directly on that time card, as well as when the HR functionality is turned on, there's a few more engagement tools as well. So I'll briefly touch on all of this. And like I mentioned, I am recording this session. And there's also some handouts that have been provided to your management team, and they may send those out to you just so you're familiar with which app to download, whether it's on a Apple device or a Droid device, but it's the same app and it functions the exact same way. Okay, so let me share my screen here. And this may be the document that they send out to you. This is just a brief overview of our TimeWorks Plus mobile app. It's the employee mobile app. And as I mentioned before, there's going to be a few different capabilities in here for the employees to utilize. So once you get this app downloaded, the nice thing with this mobile app is you will be issued login credentials. Upon initially logging in, it will prompt you to reset your password to something unique. Once you do that, you can remain permanently logged into the mobile app. So you do not need to log out and log in each time that you want to punch the clock, or if you wanted to look at your PTO accruals, request time off, or if you wanted to access some HR documentation. You don't need to worry about the app draining your device battery, and you also don't need to worry about it using a lot of your data on your mobile plan. Okay, so it won't affect either of those two on your own device, which is very nice about our mobile app. Okay, so once you get that downloaded, once you pop open the app, your home screen will look exactly like this. You'll plug in your login credentials, and your home screen by nature is going to be the clock itself. So from here, you can quickly make a selection. Are you clocking in or are you clocking out? Depending on if management would like you to track lunches and breaks, you'll see those additional buttons. If they're not requiring to punch in and out for lunches or breaks, you will simply see just the clock in and the clock out features. Now this is a smart clock, so once you are clocked in, the system is going to recognize that you're clocked in, so it's going to remove the clock in as an option to select multiple times. The reason we do this is so that you don't get confused if you've already clocked in, and you may go about your day and start working, and then if you come back to the clock and try and clock in again, it won't allow you to. So it's just going to reduce those mistakes. It's going to help the employees stay on track, right? We're clocked in or we're clocked out. Down at the bottom, you're going to have some additional links within that mobile app. The first is your own personal time card. So you won't see any other of your colleagues' time card. It'll just be your own, and it's simply going to track and record your daily punches, as well as total out your hours worked for the day, for the week, and for the pay period. Now there is the ability to send notes, through this mobile app, and I'll show you that through the web portal. But if you make a mistake, if you needed to provide some additional information to management, you would simply just go to that particular day, click the note, and send a note to your manager. And they will see that note directly on your time card, and so will you. They can also add to that note. So should you ask a question or if they need to approve something, be sure to keep your eyes on those notes, because if they add to it, you will be able to see the addition to your note. So it's a two-way communication between employees and management. You'll also have a time off section in the mobile app. This is going to be accurate and up to date with all of your PTO totals. That way you don't need to, go to HR or ask your manager how much PTO or sick time you have available. You'll simply be able to check that straight through your mobile device. You'll also be able to quickly request time off. Now, there is a notification between management and employee. So once you submit a time off request, your direct superior or whoever is involved in the approval process will be notified. They will be able to manage that request, approve or decline it, and once they make their decision, you as the employee will also receive notification. So again, two-way communication to streamline that process. You'll have a reference calendar, so you'll be able to see what days are pending that you're waiting for an approval to come through. You'll also be able to see the days off that you've requested in the future, as they will show up blue or gray, just depending on if they're pending or if they've been approved. Now, if management opens that up, you may see your colleagues pending and approved time off. Now, that could be for the location, or it could just be your immediate team or your immediate department. So you may see that information as well. Now, when we turn on the HR features, you're going to have an HR folder. Now, in the HR folder, this is going to store all different types of documentation. You're going to be able to see your check stubs. You're going to be able to see and view year-end tax information. So once those get rolled out, you'll be able to access your W-2s and your W-4s directly in the HR folder. Management will be able to send you performance reviews, company updates, organizational charts. Really anything that is HR related will be found in the HR section of your mobile app. Now, you will be able to engage with some of that. So let's say you've got a performance review and they send you a sheet of paper that requires a sign off or some interaction. You will be able to interact with that straight through your mobile phone and then sign off on it and send it directly back to management. So it's very, very convenient. Okay, so a lot of information, a lot of abilities, and a lot of tools just in the palm of your hand through your smartphone. Now, say you're sitting at home on the couch and you've got your laptop open, you will be able to come to your online portal. Now, this is just a website. It's going to share the same login credentials as the mobile app, so that way you don't have two sets of credentials. And when you first log in, this will be your home screen. Now, depending on the nature, if you're at home, you will see the clock, but you will not have the ability to clock in and out. You will have to be on site at the right location in order to use a web-based clock, if that's the method that management is allowing you to clock in and out. But you'll see here that on the home screen, there's quite a bit of information. So you've got employee documents, check stubs, tax information. If we turn on a Hub Rewards, this is just simply an online coupon book with participating companies that throw out coupons when you sign up for our Hub Rewards program. So keep your eye on that. That's a cool little section right there. If I go to the top right, you've got a Employee Engagement Center. Now, this is just an engagement platform between you and management, and maybe your department head or your direct supervisor. So you've got the Heart. The Heart is a weekly check-in. It's a way for managers to speak with you directly about tasks or just how are you feeling for the week, anything important that we need to discuss. So you'll be able to view those check-ins, right? And they'll populate right here and they'll show you the date. You've also got a trophy. The trophy is a recognition wall. So if your company, if they like to give props or kudos to a job well done to colleagues, team members, this is a way for you to go in there and recognize those team members individually through the recognition wall. And lastly, you've got a suggestion box. So if your company likes to have or provide feedback from employees, this gives you an anonymous way to go in there and provide some anonymous feedback. Now, your manager will be able to see those, but they won't see who submitted them. It's completely anonymous. But management will have the ability to, if they see an individual comment, to request that the anonymous poster reveal themselves, not to the company, just to management. And then they can have a one-off conversation about whatever was posted throughout that anonymous tip center. So just a cool engagement tool. Okay. You've also got a message center. So this is company-wide. So if they got a holiday party that's upcoming, if there's a new press release, if you guys do newsletters, anything company messages wide, check your message board, and you will receive alerts to different things. So you will receive push notifications. Some may receive text notifications, just depending on the type of alert. And you do have a little bell in the top right-hand corner. On your mobile phone, you'll receive push notifications, and you may be directed to an email, just depending on the type of notification that is sent out. So keep your eyes on those. Okay, and then finally, down at the bottom, you've got your hub documents and links. So this is HR sending of information. It's a secure platform to share HR-related documentation, performance reviews, company handbook updates. Now this can be employee specific. So they may send you a performance review. You will be the only employee that will see that performance review. Or they may send out a company handbook update to the entire company. And that requires your review to go in there, review the changes, and then sign off on it and send your response back to management. Okay, so all of this can be done through the mobile app or your online portal. They both operate and function the same way. It's the same user experience. So just like your mobile app, you've got the same icons. So you can click on your time, and it's going to show you your time card. It's going to keep track of those hours. And you'll notice here that I've got the ability to send notes, just like on the mobile phone. So if I need to address a mistake, I forgot to clock in, forgot to clock out, I need to provide some additional information to management, I can quickly do that on the specific day just by adding a note to my time card. You'll also have the time off section, just like in the mobile app. You want to request a day off, you need to check your PTO hours, you can come to the portal or you can pull out your cell phone, check your totals, and quickly submit a time off request to your direct superior. And then again, notifications go back and forth once it's been requested. And then once management has made a decision, you'll be notified either way. When it's approved, those days will populate on your time card. So you'll be able to see your vacation days that you've requested off with the correct amount of hours, like you see here. So extremely simple, very user-friendly, very intuitive, and multiple ways to access the same information. And if I click on the HR tab, all the same information is in here, but it's just an HR section. So if management is pushing out a to-do list, or if there are any open tasks, a performance review, you need to review the new company handbook, new policies and procedures, a new organizational chart. Your file cabinet is going to store all of your individual documentation, your W-4s, your check stubs, any individual questionnaires, performance reviews that you retain a copy of. All of that is going to be available in your file cabinet. Okay, you've got upcoming events and news. Those are just press releases to keep the company involved so everyone's aware of upcoming news or events. And then down at the bottom, our system has the ability to provide links. So although we may not provide benefits or 401k, your company very well may. And if they do, they can embed links to those third-party companies that offer the benefits and the 401k. So that way, if you need more information, you can quickly come into your portal here and be linked to that appropriate page to find the information that you're looking for. So all of this will be available, but as I mentioned before, to start, we are just going to be focusing on the timekeeping. So that's what we're going to get set up first. In January, you'll have all of that additional HR documentation and capability. So your portal may look a little bit more basic when you first log into it, just like this, where it's strictly just timekeeping with the HR bolt-on not turned on yet. So all the same features, just no HR, right? You've got the ability to clock in or out. You've got your time card, keep track of your hours, send notes. You've got your time off section to quickly check your totals and submit those time off requests to management. So that is what you will see in the next couple of weeks when you first start using the system. Then when we turn on the HR feature, management will let you know and you'll have the remainder of those features at your fingertips. So that is Swipeclock. Very simple, very user-friendly. I use it personally every day on my cell phone. So we utilize our own system because it works, it's reliable, and again, any information that I need, I don't need to go to HR. I can simply pull out my cell phone and get the documentation that I need. So does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Nate, this is Jason. So if you go through the day and you say, forget to clock in or out, can you just go back and edit the day?
Say that one more time, Jason. I'm sorry.
Can you, if you forget to log in or out, just go back and edit?
Are you talking about a regular employee or a manager?
A regular employee.
That depends. On the time card itself, management can opt to give standard employees the ability to edit their own time card. So that is something that you will want to ask management. Majority of the time, if a mistake is made, it would need to be addressed with a note or communicated through the message center, and management would need to correct that mistake. But again, we have some clients where they do give standard employees the ability to modify their time cards. So just depending on the nature, on how we set it up, the answer could be yes or no. However, on the dashboard itself, if you do forget to clock in or clock out, there is a way to get back on track and let management know that you made a mistake. You can go in there and input the right time, and that's this miss your last punch down here at the bottom. So you'll notice that this employee is already clocked in. So it's removed the clock in feature. Well, let's say I forgot to clock out last night. I could click miss your last punch, I could hit clock out, and then I could provide additional information if I needed it to. But otherwise, I would just finish the punch. That would send that missing punch to my direct supervisor. He could then look at it, realize that it applies to you for last night, go in there and make the correction. So there are ways to get back on track should you miss your last punch or make a mistake. Good question. Does that?
Nate, I think Jason might be referring more to just forgetting to clock in initially. Is that going to require management editing their time card?
To input the correct time, yes. So if they initially forget to clock in, if they're supposed to arrive at 8 and they forget to clock in until 10:20, when they go to clock in, it will represent a 10:20 punch time arrival. So if it needs to be corrected and adjusted back to 8, yes, management would need to make that correction unless an employee has been given the ability to edit and modify that himself. And if that is given to the employee, you'll notify here, or you'll see here that you do see corrections, whether it's done by the employee or if it's done by management. So you will see the initial punch, and then it'll be striked out, and then you'll see what it's been modified to.
Okay, so this system is assuming almost everybody's going to be punching in real time.
Correct. Everything operates in real time in this system. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I recorded this session, so I will send that to the appropriate team members. I'll also include some of these handouts that they can share with you to ensure that you download the right mobile app. And again, once we have everything ready to go, you'll be issued login credentials with a temporary password. And then the first time you log in, you'll reset that password to something unique. And then if you want to remain logged into the mobile app permanently, you are able to do that without constantly logging in and out. Yeah, Travis, go ahead. What's your question? The two other sessions will be the same, correct? There's really no other items to cover on the employee side. So they will be similar in nature. There may be different talking points as far as question goes, but yes, they will be the same. I will review the same information. You're welcome. Now, guys, once we roll this out, you do have the ability to come to me or come to Ollie if you do have questions, but I assure you that it is very, very user-friendly. Again, I use it every day, and I've been using it for about 3 years. And when I first started using it, yeah, it took me 5-10 minutes just clicking around, and I knew how to do everything immediately. So it's extremely simple. Okay.
I
So
would just actually, mainly on our end, Jose is the contact, and I think Jose really generally interacts with them, but certainly I'm always available also. On the Regal, obviously our payroll department with Torrey Pines, he's generally the contact person.
For most employees, Jose will still be the point of contact for edits, for that sort of thing. The points of contact are not going to change for Torrey Pines employees.
Correct.
Okay, everyone. Well, I really appreciate you joining this morning. It was a pleasure. Ali and Jose, I don't see Jose on this call, but feel free to let them have my contact information. And if any other questions pop up, just feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to address them.
I'm here, Nate.
Okay, guys.
He was on the call.
Was he?
I'm here.
Nate.
Oh, there he is.
Can I
He's
just
further down on the
a few minutes
list.
after? Are you able to call me just for a couple minutes, please, right now? Or are you available for a few minutes?
I can give you a call here in a little bit, Ollie. Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Have a nice day. Talk
All right,
soon.
team. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you guys.